Pranam everyone. Today we have Mrs. Jyoti Luthra with us. She is the ex-principal of Goenka Groups of School and president of Urja Foundation Group. Welcome ma'am. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank
Uh,
you for having me here.
uh, Jyoti ma'am, could you tell us about your journey?
Yeah, sure. Though I have told it many a times in many podcasts, but this is for your viewers. I started my journey as a TGT chemistry. I was a teacher. I taught class 9, 10th chemistry, then became PGT, then HM, then vice principal, then principal. So that was the top of my career as I thought that I started as a teacher and now I am a principal. So I'm at the highest peak. But then, something happened in my personal life and I have to quit. So I used to ask God, that is that the end? But I got the answer, no, it is just a bend. So today I am here with many of the schools, guiding them, upskilling the teachers, guiding the students, and helping the schools to do compliances in many of the ways and growing them and making them a big brand. So this is all about me, and I'm into education since last 30 years, and now I'm helping every educator.
Very good ma'am. Very nice journey you have. And how is your experience with Ramadevi International School?
Ramadev International School, as soon as I enter, first of all, I found the positive vibes and the way principal ma'am herself, she has made a quote, Pranam, which is, the trademark of the school, I would say. Because as she says, that we have to imbibe the student, we have to imbibe our culture into the students. So this is so important. Not every leader is thinking of that, but if you are doing that and bringing your students nearer to our own culture, to Indian knowledge system, definitely it is the need of the hour.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your nice words. And as you were here for the career counseling session, so how was your experience with the students? You know, these are the Gen Z students. So, how was your experience?
It was really a great experience with the students because this is my passion to guide the students, and that is why I was a teacher and I went into this career, and today also wherever I am, basically I am a teacher. So when we tell the students about the career counseling, first of all, the career counseling we used to do is not backed up by any college or any university. We don't tell them that this college is good or this university is good to go there, and no, we just guide them, find yourself. What is your interest? What is your aptitude? What is your career goal? What is your personality? What is your vision? Just find out that. Because at the age of 13, 14, the students, they are exploring the world. And it is very hard to find their own interest. So it is better that they do meditation, they sit with themselves, and they find out what are they good at. And if they find out that themselves, that really gives them a direction, that really gives them a meaning, and they can make the informed decision. So this is what we have discussed with the students today, and the students were too excited. I have asked a few students that what are you good at. There was a student who said that, oh, I'm good at argumenting. So I said, okay, become a lawyer, make that your
Great.
strength. Because if you argument with your parents, it's not good. But if you argue with the people outside the world and you earn out of that, this is really something which can give you bread and butter. And not only that, it will give you good earning. So this is all about career counseling. Is that all the career counseling? I should say that should tell the students that find yourself, what your strength is, and choose your career and the subject wisely according to that.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know what about the parents who pressurize their kids to opt for the PCM or PCB? Because according to them, if you are opting for the PCM or PCB, you are great, and if you are going for the humanities, it means you are low. So, what about that?
See, these are the old myths which were there, that science is the best stream, only the bright students take science. commerce is the stream which is for business family students, humanities is for weak students. These all are myths, and they no longer are valid in today's time, because everybody knows that even CBSE has given so many permutation and combinations with the subject that
Yes.
even a humanities student can take maths.
Mhm.
Even a humanities students can have entrepreneurship and physics if they want, if they like physics. So when there is so much of choice there, then why not to go with your own career option which you want to have, which you think that you are good at, then just do that. So this is not, I would just suggest the parents that do not impose your dreams on your child, because every individual is a different individual and every individual is unique. I would say that we are not the physical beings, we are the energy beings vibrating on a different frequency. Your frequency could be different, my frequency could be different. So parents should understand that they should never tell a child that do this. Whatever the child wants to do, whatever their inner calling is, whatever their inner strength is, that they should do. So the subject option is only going with your strengths. It is not end of life. Maybe you could change it later. But as if now you have to choose the subject, then you just have to see that what is your strength and you just have to grow that.
Very nice, ma'am. As you have said that CBSC has implemented the new education policy, do you think it would be successful in the remote areas also, where nobody is aware about the skill labs or they don't have resources? So, what about them?
Ma'am, I would say that there are so many, brainy people running this organization, CBSE, which is more than 100 years old. So we cannot say that whatever they are doing that is wrong. No, I'm totally with them. The reason being that when I studied more about CBSE, NCRT, I explored more and I came to know that chemistry is my subject. So, I found out as a teacher that we have two volumes of chemistry books in class 11th and in class 12th, volume 1, volume 2, which are this much thin. And if we go with the private publishers, maybe any publisher, I won't name them, but they would have this much heavy book, and that too two volumes. So I was just exploring that why it is that we have the private publishers, when we read that they go immensely deeply about this, and NCRT has a small little 200 pages book. This is because they want this book to be affordable by every student who is there in remote area as well. So with that thought, they made those books. And when we used to teach the students, we used to tell them that NCRT is your Gita, Bible, and Quran. You have to go with that, so that you should take up the topics whatever is there in NCRT. It is a very thoughtful decision, whatever CBSE has made on skill, Kaushal Bodh, and everything. As you said in your question that there are no resources, no, I would say no, it is not there. Not many resources are there with everyone. We just have to find out the resources. If you talk of the remote areas, they have so much of land which is not there in the urban area. They cannot have the gardening or something like that.
This is what I want for
Hmm.
those school who were saying that they don't have resources, how they are
Yeah.
going to implement the skill education.
Yes, yes. Maybe skill education in a urban area or in a developed school, it means robotics, AI, or machine learning or something else. But in a rural area, it could be agricultural,
Yeah,
and
sure.
they could implement all that machinery and machine learning into that agricultural development only. India is an agricultural land, and we are the biggest exporters of wheat, rice, and other paddy crops. So why is it not possible that we don't have resources? Every one of us have resources. Even a stopped watch is right twice a day. So you cannot say that we
Ye-
don't have resources. We
yeah.
have resources and we should implement them.
Very good answer, ma'am. Very good answer. Means whatever resources you are having, by using them you can set up your own skill lab in your school. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity to guide your students. Thank you so much. Humble to meet you and pranam.